collectors, it's the Gasman Collector back at you with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the GB7V. Let's get started. Now, the GB7 and GB7V, the one I have, was in fact a replacement to the GB5M, or in fact the SHM62U and GB5. They actually started its production in 1988 and ends in 1992. Now, let's get to the mask. This mask comparison is very similar to the PMK. Now, I own the second one, but now to all the accessories and the mask itself. Another funny hint about it. The carrier itself that it came with is this, well, cotton bag, or pretty much haversack to it. Actually, the same material as a similar haversack or carrier to the mask, to the filter. Inside the bag, it has a stamp right in there, and it's pretty much can fit the canteen and the mask. There is in fact another pocket for another piece. This little guy. The lens, the anti-fog lens. Now, of course, there was in fact another strap to it, but the thing snapped. Yeah, right here, the thing was snapped. Now, let's get to the accessory. Well, I did mention about the anti-fog lens. There's the filter and the canteen. Now, the filter may not be safe. As a matter of fact, it's marked in 92, so it's a little safe, but I'm not risking it. Now, let's get to the mask. Mask, again, it's much more of a civilian version of the PMK. Let's go see what's inside the mask. Oh, that wasn't inside. Now, this plastic piece is actually to keep the mask in good shape. Now, let's get inside to the mask. Well, and of course the detail of the front of the mask. Now, inside the mask, there's the drinking straw located, pretty much the whole system to the mask. Here's a weird piece right in here. That one's actually for the filter, and this is for the outlet, for the output, for the air to go out. The drinking straw, the voice emitter, or technically the membrane. Now let's get to the front of the mask, but the head harness itself, it's a bit of a pain to even adjust the thing. Now, the mask on the front side, now they don't very much have double-sided filter. This thing is an option, or technically this is mandatory to put on. Now, if this was damaged, you can actually take it off, and it's ended up being like this, which is by thread. The filter port is the 40mm Gauss filter, and the lenses, I heard that they do have an option for you to put second lenses on there, but that's probably for the IP4 masks. And the drinking tube is very much same structure as the normal PMK, or the PMK2, the one I have, and typically very similar to the M17 mask. Now, the date itself was from 1992, so this was after the fall of the Soviet Union, and here is the mold number to it, 221, and that's the size 2. Now, let's go try out the mask itself. So this is what the carrier. So this is what the carrier would wear. Now let's. So this is what it sounds like with the mask on. Now, let's try on the drink.
Suck.
We're gonna try all of the canteens first with this. Let's begin. Now, pros and cons. The mask itself is actually kind of not bad. And the drinking tube is not bad. And, well, the canteen itself too, but I'll do that in a later review. And it had a better diaphragm than the GP5s, but again, let's begin with, well, the cons. Now let's get to the cons. Now, there's no secondary filter input in there. And of course, now I could say this could have been a little longer. Yeah, literally, it's long. Let's talk about the pro and con, the face seal. It's actually kind of very thin. That's the con part, and also the thing, it does have a face seal, and this thing is quite a bit pretty long. It probably overkilled it. Another pro and con is, in fact, the head harness. Now, con is the head harness is, in fact, made of leather or rubber, so if it's damaged, it's not good use. But on the other hand, it actually is adjustable, unlike the other counterpart of a civilian mask that I'm not going to mention. Well, I already did. It's a lot better. It doesn't have the whole size fits all. Now, let's talk about the verdict. On the other hand, I forgot about the canteen. Now, I'll do the review of the canteen later. Well, next video. My final verdict rating of the GP7V is going to be a 7 out of 10. Now, the mask is not bad, the drinking tube is not bad, and they have reasonable things. Now, for any of the situation of Soviet mask I'll pick, I'm going to give you my preferred of my masks. Let's begin. If I had to pick the GP5 or the GP7, I'd prefer the GP7. Well, it's the GP7V. If I had to pick between these two, I'd go for the PMK more than the GP7. That's what mostly my preference of my mask prefer. This is a mask you can find pretty easy in Lithuanian sales on eBay, and if you actually have the money for it, go for it. Now that wraps up the GP7V review. That's Warpath Gorka signing out, and I hope you guys see you next time. If you're quite wondering about the string that I pointed out, the broken string, well, there it is. Yeah, it's, well, broke. Now, that kind of wraps up that.
Oddychacia